Come on up.
Oh, that was beautiful, Maureen. I wish this was a funny story, but that's where I run into problems, wishing things were different. About 10 years ago, my boyfriend Keith and I were watching an old movie. My sister Robin calls. It's our papa. He's in the hospital. His heart is failing. I should come right away. We pause the movie. I go home and pack. I fly to California. Keith calls. Says he wished he was here with me. I wish he was here with me too. That morning it rained and my papa died. I called Keith, but no answer, and no quick call back like usual. It's mid-afternoon and still raining. It smells like mud and cement. Dinner time, it's dark and still raining, and no condolences from Keith. His brother and mom both call. They found Keith dead in his apartment that same day. His mom and I cry together. She asked me if I would say a few words at his funeral. I panic trying to write. My sister Robin comes out for support and reminds me to breathe. How do you describe someone's soul? A beautiful man, a student of life, a lover of knowledge, a teacher, a traveler, a musician. Keith loved NPR, the Chicago skyline, noodles at night. He laughed at memories of delivering pizza in his Cadillac hearse. He loved Rumi and Stanley Kubrick films, Germany, mythology, and having a guitar in his hands. He loved cuddling and walks at night. Keith hated styrofoam and smooth jazz. What I will always remember about him, breath like puppy caramel, beautiful hands, always $1 for the homeless, gentleness and compassion for all. His please, yes please, and thank you so much. A few days before he died, he told me about 3 separate flying dreams he had. He was so excited. The first one, he was flying around a gymnasium, showing others how easy it was. The second, he was maneuvering through electrical wires. The third, he said, was so much fun, just pure flight. He asked me what I dreamed, not as lofty as his. I remember losing my shoe. He would talk so excited for sleep, so he could fly again. I truly believe his spirit was too big for his body. He gave me a book of Rumi poems. I opened the book and this poem picked me. It goes, "Don't worry about saving these songs. And if one of the instruments breaks, it doesn't matter. We have fallen into the place where everything is music." I love that poem, but I was not in a place where everything is music. I wrote a letter I would never send, hoping it would contain the pain. I called it Beginner's Grief. Your brother calls my cell. A voice I now hate says you're dead. Frantic, high-pitched screams of what stream from my mouth. I meet your family at your apartment. Your black army boots, the ones you loved, are at the bottom of a big wardrobe box. They're lonely down there, untied. You can't throw those out, I want to say. The globe I brought you from China, where Canada is made out of mother of pearl and the oceans are lapis, I give it to your brother. Your mother stands looking out the window as if she's waiting for you. Your brother holds a Kev Mo CD. He says it was a birthday gift for you. Your sister folds her clothes. I took the Godiva chocolates you kept for me in your freezer. You would be proud. I have not had a chocolate orgy like you feared. I eat them respectfully, one at a time. Nobody knows what happened to you. It looks like you died in your sleep. They cremated your body yesterday. Heart attacks, drugs, aneurysms are ruled out. It might take 6 weeks before we hear anything. Air bubbles stick in my chest. I look around the room and see mouths moving, but all I hear is blah, blah, blah. I hold my breath. It feels like a pill is stuck in my throat. Sometimes I wish the injury was physical. I would hobble, bleeding, guts out and bruised. I would point to my broken limbs and say, "See what this landmine did to me?" I walk by invisible. Nobody sees my gaping wounds. About 100 people come to your memorial. Your goddaughter brings a globe. Your electric guitar, single drum, and acoustic guitars are lined up behind the altar. Your favorite, the upright bass, leans against the church wall. I sensed you in its hollowed body. There you stand, blonde and beautiful, next to the colorful globe. Your original music plays. Your voice comes out the walls. Your brother sits in front of me at the funeral. His head prays sideways on your mother's shoulder. My head, too, gravitates toward anything for support. Elevator doors, backs of chairs, and ultimately to my own hands and shoulders. My grief has taken over. A flat, vacuous cry. Sometimes before sleep, I feel you whirling around my torso, and I see your flawless bass hands. I ask you to visit me in my dreams, but you don't come. Instead, I'm explaining to a stranger that my lover just died. I reek of poison, like a homeless drunk, though instead of alcohol, blackness escapes from my pores. People say they can't smell it, but I don't believe them. That tree on my street we used to walk under now haunts me. It's not full and green. It's lifeless except for 2 yellow leaves that cling to its gnarled branches. They're just waiting to fall. The deep freeze is coming, there's no choice. The noodles you left on my stove are still there. I look at the pathetic cracked things and say, yes, he was real and in my life. I cry every day. Your brother gave me the photo taken of us the night we met. You look so relaxed and happy. I had it blown up to a black and white 8x10, but I can't find a frame for it. I miss you most right before I fall asleep. My night sweats are back. I change my pajamas a couple times a night, but I just end up nude and sticky and roll over to your side of the bed where it's cold but dry. I'm a spiritual weakling. Nothing makes sense. My surroundings have taken on the surreal. I look at people and I'm fearful they might just disappear. I look at objects and think they might blow up or all disappear. I pray, I go to church. I'll be born again if that helps. What can I do? What can I believe? You need faith. Choose to believe, they say. Believe what? That everything happens for a reason and all is well? I miss your dark hands on my white thighs. Are you lucky getting out of here early? I try to think of what I don't like about you. Maybe that would help. But all I can remember is your kindness, infectious laugh, and the way you would always listen. I'm glad you don't have to pay your taxes or make new lesson plans or clean your apartment. I'm glad you missed the deep freeze of winter. This is your Keith, you would say on my answering machine. He's everybody's Keith. A little postscript. Well, we all know how cold it can get. The lakes and the rivers freeze. Cars don't start and everything moves slow. I see a strange beauty in this cold, but I don't want to live in it. I've not read this story in a while. I hung on to it longer than I should and added a few more pains. My dear friend Seabury died. My other boyfriend I lived with for 6 years died a year later. Why death? Why life? Why anything? I don't know. But the stories seem to play out without my permission. I'm trying to accept them, invite them in even. I'm not up to Keith's yes please, but Grace is allowing much more thank yous, and sometimes even a thank you so much.